I feel like I'm always just faking it till I make it.
You have to try and predict the future.
You're actually hitting those markers and goals now.
It doesn't matter if you're going to get there or not.
Welcome back to Perspectives Unlocked, where the sharpest minds in real estate share the stories, struggles, and strategies that change the game. Today, Tamir Poleg sits down with Elizabeth McNally and Desi Williams for a raw conversation about imposter syndrome, the pressure of social media, and how the right community can unlock your full potential.
Okay, hello everybody. Honored to welcome two amazing ladies, Elizabeth and Desi. And we have some interesting topics to talk about today. I didn't understand if there's any connection between those two topics, but hopefully you can help me figure it out. But those two topics are imposter syndrome and finding community and collaboration. Is there a connection? I don't know. But the first thing I did is actually go to ChatGPT, like all of us do. And I wanted to understand better what imposter syndrome means, because I think that this is something that I've been thinking about more often in the early days of Real, when I was pitching the company to investors and making promises and all of that, and a lot of nights where you don't know if you can deliver or not. So let me first of all read to you what ChatGPT says about imposter syndrome, and then we can actually talk about it a little bit more in a smart way. So imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern where capable, competent people doubt their abilities and fear being exposed as fraud despite evidence of their achievements. When you think about that, I think that you really need to lack self-awareness not to have imposter syndrome throughout your life, because obviously it doesn't matter if you're super confident, super successful. You always try to achieve more and more and more. And as you try to achieve more, you're talking to people, you're always selling your ideas, you're selling whatever product, whatever service, and you cannot be 100% sure that you're going to make it. So you have to make some promises. And I think that there's always a little bit of doubt. So does it mean that all of us have imposter syndrome, or maybe it's something that is a little more clinical than, just experiencing some self-doubt every now and then, which I'm sure all of us do. But have you ever felt like you're a fraud?
Yeah.
All the time.
Tell us about it.
Yeah.
Tell us
sure.
about
Do you want to go ahead, Desi?
Sure.
Oh, me?
I'll go
Sure.
first. I'll go first.
You
Okay. Well, so I've never had a real job before, except for once. And when I was in high school, right after I graduated, before I got married, I used to make sandwiches at the sandwich shop. And that's the only real job I've ever had. And now I'm building an empire in real estate in a small town, and I'm hiring people. I'm having to fire some people, and I'm trying to run this company, but I have no idea what I'm doing most days. And I feel like I'm always just faking it till I make it, trying to figure it out as I go. And so I would say, yeah, most days I feel like an imposter, and I'm like, are my agents going to know? Are my staff going to know that I actually have no idea what I'm doing? Maybe.
Everyone's going to know now.
Yeah, for sure. It's out there. But so Desi, what helps you get through that? How do you reconcile that when, you go back home, you're thinking about your day, you're thinking about tomorrow? What helps you reconcile or, tell yourself, hey, I can make it?
Well, I think just realizing that pretty much everyone's faking it till they make it. I have a few mentors that I really, really look up to, and they don't have it all together either. And they're kind of figuring it out as they go too, learning through mistakes, learning through watching mistakes of others, and just kind of learning and growing.
Would you say getting mentors or looking, connecting with other people are really helping you through that?
I think so, right? Because if you can connect with other people, you could go further faster by leaning on them. Like, well, how did you handle this situation? Like, I didn't even know how to hire somebody, to be honest. And I had to chat GPT it. And then I reached out to a mentor and was just like, well, what's your hiring process? How do you guys do this?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Now with everybody on social media and everyone trying to kind of paint this perfect picture of a perfect life and a perfect business and a lot of success, do you think that actually intensifies the imposter syndrome, or maybe it helps us get some outside reinforcement that we're doing the right thing? I mean, is social media helping, or it's getting in the way of us actually feeling better about ourselves?
What do you think, Liz?
I don't know. That's a really good. I was just thinking, I'm like, that's a very good question. I think it varies on a day-to-day basis, like where you're at, in your where things are going. I mean, my experience is really similar to Desi's as far as like building a business and not really knowing how to do it. I didn't go to school for business degree. I didn't, I dabbled before I got into real estate and different things, but everything we're doing is new and different all the time. But with regards to the social media, I feel for me, I find because I follow people that I'm really inspired by, and I sort of take away that they're on a journey as well. It does make me feel a little bit more at peace, like I'm doing the right thing. And I'm not afraid to reach out to people now. But that was a huge milestone for me, was being brave enough to actually connect with somebody and say like, "Hey, I need help. Would you mentor me or would you coach me?" That was something that was never instilled in me until probably the last, 3 to 5 years, to be honest. So I really felt that sort of sense of like, what the heck am I doing? And it was always at night, like always just before you go to bed, right? You're just like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
So,
That's a horrible feeling.
yeah.
It made me remember when we started Real in the early days. We were part of a tech scene, so we were a tech startup. We wanted to create a tech-powered brokerage, and obviously we needed to raise money all the time. So I would talk to venture capitalists all day long, and they want to see a plan, and they want to see projection of financials, and they want to see what the product is going to look like. So you have to try and predict the future. And
Mhm.
obviously what excites investors is, those big dreams of I'm going to take over the industry and this is going to generate so much profit and all of that. And I was always kind of on the side of I'm going to make realistic promises and set up realistic expectations. And at some point, one of the existing investors, he saw that I was struggling to raise money and he asked me, why aren't you promising the moon? And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, investors want to get excited and stand behind an idea that is outstanding. And it doesn't matter if you're going to get there or not, because they understand that it's part of the business. You tell them a story, but then you don't really deliver. But if you partially deliver, that's good enough. And I was like, I cannot do something like this. And he said, just try. And I think that I was trying to fine tune my pitch in a way that will be a little bit more exciting, but still keep some sort of a realistic expectation. But just the idea of, this is how things work. This is the game of everybody. It's not exactly lying. It's everybody understands that everybody's over promising and consequentially under delivering, and everybody expect that. So whatever you say, in their minds, they're saying, okay, he's going to deliver 50% of that, even though he's telling us he's going to deliver 100%. But when my 100% was kind of at the 50%, they thought that I'm going to deliver 50% of the 50%. So
Right.
I think that
Yeah.
it took me a few years to understand that this is the game. And sometimes we have to play the game. And I think that very much in the real estate space, we also play a game. We play a game of, I'm the best. I serve this many clients. I have, this knowledge, so many leads and all of that. But what I'm hearing from you is that it does take a toll on you personally, Elizabeth, because when you go to
Yeah.
sleep, when you're with yourself at night, you're actually, asking yourself the hard questions. So, how much do you think is this a game in real estate? Like, are we all playing a game? Is this like what you see on social media and what you see out there and on stage? Is this a good reflection of everybody's business, or is everybody just selling a dream? And
I don't
maybe I'm
know.
I'm
I
turning the entire industry against me right
That's
now.
okay. Well, I was thinking about what you were saying about your predictions, and I would imagine that you're actually hitting those markers and goals now. It's just probably taken a little bit longer than you initially would have
Exactly.
thought, right? So then it's like two steps forward, one steps back kind of thing, and that's that 100 to 50, 100 to 50, 100 to 50, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, look what you've done. You're way further advanced than you probably even predicted in the beginning, right? So I think that's with real estate too. Like even just selling houses, I know when I got started, I was selling, I think I made $8,000 one year, and then now, we're doing far better than that. And as I was growing and building, that was when the imposter syndrome was really sinking in. Like, do I deserve this? Did I work hard enough for this? Am I in the place I deserve to be in? That's kind of what I was always struggling with. Like, I felt like a fake, and like people were going to figure me out, you know? But yeah, I feel like as far as the social media goes, yeah, we are kind of all putting on a facade, but with AI and going into a totally different direction in my brain, I'm like, now people are saying that you need to be more authentic. So I feel like AI is doing us a favor in a way, because people are really putting their real authentic selves a little bit more out there, because that's the only way you can tell the difference. It's like, you're talking about the trouble you're having at home with your kids, or getting to work on time because you're busy, like you locked yourself out of your car or whatever. Like, it's just like
Uh-huh.
it's so much more real, which I
That's
actually really love.
That's what I was going to say too. I actually feel like people resonate more when you're more real and you show what's actually going on. And it's the people who are like, everything's glitz and glam and perfect all the time, that people aren't really resonating with anymore, because they know it's fake. They know there's no possible way that everyone has it all together all the time.
Yeah. So people want to know you, and you have to be authentic in a time where everything seems to be fake. But Desi, are you able to sometimes zoom out and look at your journey and be able to tell yourself, I'm doing well. Like, I'm proud of myself. I'm like, even though, some people may think that I'm a fraud, as we said, um, I'm actually at a much better place than I ever imagined.
I actually texted my husband yesterday. I said, my whole life is a lie. And he texted me back, question mark, question mark. And I was like, I just feel like, I'm telling these people that we're doing these things. He's like, well, Des, look back at where we came from. You started out selling 12 homes a year. Now, not only are you selling 160 plus homes a year yourself, our team is selling over 250 homes a year in a small market that only sells about 450 homes total per year. He goes, if you look at the gains instead of the gaps, it's really easy to see how far you've come.
That's an amazing perspective. Elizabeth, are you able to do that for yourself?
100%. I feel like I've taken a long time to learn that, but with a lot of work, same thing as Desi, and that's kind of how we found each other and started our community together, was basically because we both were living sort of a very similar business existence and life existence with our families, and, hustling business and trying to figure things out and looking to connect with people.
So you mentioned the word community, and obviously we're social creatures and we need community. We need to connect with people, and real estate is so much about relationships. And I think that when we're talking about imposter syndrome, this is something that has to do with me, with us, just us. But very often when you're surrounded with people who support you, who root for you, who push you forward, who can teach you, who know exactly who you are, and do not criticize, that really brings up the self-value. How do you think community impacts us as individuals with respect to that imposter syndrome?
I was just going to say that finding people that are, your tribe, I guess, for lack of a better word, that, you can connect with, and somebody that you can bounce ideas off of and grow alongside of, it really helps, because you're not just an island trying to figure it out over there. Hearing Desi's stories, and we have a group chat where we're constantly like, hey, this is going on, what do you think? Or this is something that happened with me and a client or my team. And it's so nice to have somebody to just, bounce ideas off of, have that connection, like, oh, hey, yeah, that happened to me and this is what I did. And then you feel like, okay, I'm doing okay, like, thank you.
And I feel
I'm
like
doing the
as
right thing.
I feel like as entrepreneurs, it's kind of lonely, right? And especially, like, I don't know how it feels to be a man because I'm a woman, but as a mom and a wife
It's
and a
it's
woman
the same.
entrepreneur, is it the same? I mean, it feels so lonely
I've
sometimes
always been very
because
curious. Yeah.
because there's so many people that just don't get it, right? We're the 1% of the 1%. And there's so many people in the world who you just can't relate to. I go to a play date with moms at the park and I'm like, we have nothing to talk about because they don't have this level of stress at home trying to balance everything and make it all work. And they don't have all these big
Mhm.
ideas that they want to accomplish one day. And so, like, I'm grateful that I was able to meet Liz because we went to a live event and we met each other And from that day forward, everything changed for me. The world's been such a happier place having her in my corner.
Right back at you, girl.
And you touched on loneliness, and I think that feeling alone is the worst feeling in the world. And
Hmm.
it seems like so many agents, because of the market right now, feel lonely, feel isolated, feel like they have nobody to, turn to, nobody that can support them. How do you feel the real community is solving for that, in your eyes, at least, or how has it been solving it for you? Obviously you found each other, but if you can, talk about the broader real community.
You want to jump on that one?
Yeah, I'll jump on it. The thing I love about Real is everyone is so open to collaborating and they're so kind. Like, I reached out to someone a few years ago. I had just joined Real. I didn't know him, but I saw him on Workplace. He was on there, and I was like, hey, you're really good at social media. Like, what would it take to get you to come teach a team meeting to my team on social media? He's like, well, just give me a couple dates and times and I'll be there. And I was like, well, how much do I owe you? Because I was used to having to pay something to get something in return. There had to be a monetary exchange, right? And he was like, nothing. He's like, I might, in the future, maybe you could come help my team. And I'm like, what? You're just
Yeah.
helping me for nothing? I was like, it blew my mind. And just, when you go to the events, like, I'm so excited for Rise because every time you go, you just meet so many amazing humans who are just
Hmm.
excited to share and collaborate and help each other.
1,000%. I totally agree with that because I was at two major brokerages before I joined Real, and I had opened my own boutique brokerage. And I've so 20 years in the business, right? And when I joined Real, it was like I didn't know it could be so good. Like it was just like it's changed my complete perspective on collaboration, community. I mean, I realize those words have been used a lot, but it's so true. Like I just feel excited every day about being part of something so much bigger. And it sounds hokey almost, but it's so legit. Like everybody helps each other. You can reach out to anybody, like Desi was saying. We're building these communities within the community, which is like fun. Like we're having so much fun, you know? Like we're about to open our Real office in Medicine Hat, and I'm so stoked about it. And I've just like never felt that way about anything before. So
Well,
yeah, it's like massive.
Desi, you mentioned Rise, and I always say that when you step into a room that is full of real agents, there's a special feeling in the air, and I can never explain it. And I'm talking
Hmm.
to analysts and investors, and I'm trying to explain to them the value of our community and why it's so special. And I always end up saying you just have to be at Rise or you have to be at a real event to
Yeah.
understand that there's a certain kind of love in the air. But can you try and help me synthesize what is so special about a room full of real agents? What's kind of the secret sauce that exists in the community?
I think you attract what you put out there, right? And I feel like Real is all about collaboration, work hard, be kind. And it's almost like the day before Christmas where you're just waiting in anticipation. You're a kid, you're so excited for the next day because there's going to be all these surprises. And I think Real's attracting people who vibrate at such a high frequency. There's no scarcity mindset. There's no, it's all about me. It's just, you can't help but feel the love when you're in a room with people who are all vibrating up here. It's like you said, you can't really explain it. It's unexplainable.
I love the reference to the day before Christmas. Liz, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, it's just what you're saying, Desi, like your vibe attracts your tribe and like I don't know, it's just everybody is so heart forward. I mean, it just feels like I can't, you're right. It's like it's really hard to put words to it. It's like you're bigger than something and you just don't even know what the possibilities are. It just feels like exponential, you know? Like I get tingles when I think about it and I when I tell people about it, I probably seem kind of crazy. Like I'm just like I love it. Like I don't know what else to tell you, but it's so great. Like there's so many opportunities. And it's also just that like knowing that there's opportunities not just for yourself, but like for your team. For me, it's really important that my team has security and also excitement because it can, I mean, we were talking, it's lonely. You can feel like you're just like out there. It's aggressive. Like the market has been really tough, and to have people that you can connect with and just find joy alongside, and also spitball ideas. Like it's just, you're spinning ideas out and somebody's like, yeah, that's an awesome idea, or that's a terrible idea, or whatever it is, right? It's just so nice. Like there probably like in 17 years before I joined Real, it was really hard to feel this way. I just never have felt excited about the next day, like you were saying.
Well, and then the other thing too, right? You meet people. So like we've met
Yeah.
people every year because I think I've been with Real for 3 or 4 years now, since 2021. And
Right?
every year you get to see them at Rise and you're so excited. It's like, oh my gosh, Mike from Maine and, Randy from Utah. And you
The
get to see
guys
all
from
these people,
Winnipeg.
the Winnipeg boys. Yeah. Like you're
I
just
know. And
so
we have like all
excited.
these group chats. Like I literally ended up in a van with the guys from Winnipeg going down to Fargo. Like I would never imagine that in a million years. And we message each other and we're like, hey, we miss you guys, or what about this? And it's just,
So
I don't
good.
know. When you get that at summer camp, like that's it. Like I'm an
Yeah. It
adult and
feels
I
like
feel like
summer
it's
camp
summer camp.
for adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
Uh,
it's great because there's no playbook. Like if we wanted to build it and we had a playbook, it's probably gonna come out
It wouldn't work.
worse than
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's probably about some human connection between people that really care for each other and kind of share the same DNA and culture and beliefs and are just passionate
So
about what they do. So it's amazing.
100%,
Um,
100%.
yeah. Okay, Desi, Liz, I want to thank you for the conversation today, and I'm looking
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing you in Rise very, very
yes.
soon. I'm so
Are you
excited about it.
golfing? Are you going to be golfing?
We actually have a surprise. So I am gonna be there, but we have some other plan. I'm not sure I'm gonna golf. I may caddy. So
Oh, fun.
uh,
Very cool. I signed up for
so
golf. I don't golf. So you won't want me on whoever's team you're caddying for if it's a legit
I
competition.
play golf once every few years, so I can
Yeah.
guarantee that you golf better than I do.
I feel like it needs to be best ball. Maybe if it's best ball.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Every now and then we
I'd,
have a good shot.
that's right.
Once in 18 holes for
Well,
me.
well, I so appreciate this. This has been really
Yes.
fun. Thank you,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Tamir. And what you've built is just, I mean, it's so exciting.
we have
Yeah,
built it together. I started
yeah.
it and then we built it together.
Well, so
But
your idea has just
Change
built into
lives.
something so cool. Yeah, it's
thank you
definitely
so much.
so
And thank
cool.
you for your time and thank you for being part of Real. And I'm looking forward
Thank
to
you.
seeing you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Perspectives Unlocked. Huge thanks to Tamir, Elizabeth, and Desi for reminding us that growth starts when you lean into authenticity and surround yourself with the right people. Keep learning, keep pushing forward, and keep unlocking new perspectives.